Hey everybody, Chris McLean here, coming to you live from a sandstorm in Abu Dhabi. Don't know how well you can tell on the video. There's just been a massive sandstorm out here, and actually myself, and I know there's been a few other members in the community that have been going through a bit of their own sandstorms over the last week and the last few days, so it was quite a fitting example. Now out here, these sandstorms occur largely in areas where there's exposed land that's been untended, uncared for, unloved, exposed land that's just sitting out there as sandy, and as soon as the wind whips up, as soon as there's a bit of agitation, the sand kicks up and it just creates this massive blanket of coverage, and visibility goes right down, becomes really hard to see. There's chaos in the traffic, people forget how to drive, there's accidents everywhere. It's just because the lack of visibility, everything's very cloudy, it just causes chaos. That same thing happens internally in our minds when we get agitated. All of our untended, exposed feelings, emotions, all that stuff that just sits there that we don't deal with, that's the stuff that tends to kick up and cause us agitation, causes cloudiness, causes not to be able to think clearly, see clearly, and it's not until that passes that we get that clarity back. Now we get the same chaos. In this case, it's chaotic traffic in your mind. It's chaotic neurons firing. Things just get really difficult to piece together. It's hard to think, it's hard to cut through that cloud that's seemingly endless. And I know I've been through that similar kind of fog in the last little while. I know there's definitely some communities in the Kickstarter, Satori Kickstarter community, and a few others, and we all go through this as business owners, as entrepreneurs. Occasionally the sand kicks up and it clouds our vision, clouds our minds, and our dreams get a bit hazy, our thoughts get a bit hazy, and it's easy to get lost and think that there's no way out, that you're never going to come out of it. But eventually it does clear, and I guess the best way, using this metaphor of untended, exposed land, the best way to help it to clear is to tend that land. All these past hurts, these past feelings, all this stuff that we just leave there, and we don't tend, we don't look after it. If we find those areas, we landscape them, we water them, we plant some trees, it toughens the soil, it ties it down. So the next time, and it looks pretty too, and the next time the agitation comes, the next time the winds blow through, that sand doesn't kick up because it's held down. It's been tended to, it's been looked after, it's been a conscious effort that's been put into understanding and looking after it. And because of that, there's less agitation. You don't get the same lack of clarity, you don't get the same haziness, you don't get the chaoticness, you don't get the chaos in the mind, like the chaotic traffic. The traffic here is totally not proving my point, because it's actually flowing really nicely. I was expecting a 7-car pile up and a few trucks on fire or something that really illustrate the shit out of my point. But it's actually flowing really well, so now we're getting out of the haze here. We're getting out of the worst part of it. We're starting to flow and we're getting out. This is where we want to get to when our minds get a bit hazy. We want to find those areas that are exposed, a bit raw, and we want to deal with them. And often they're the biggest, hardest parts to do because they've been untended. They've just been left alone to grow and become overgrown, or they're just barren. So they take a lot of time and energy and dedicated effort, persistence, patience. It takes all of these things to cultivate and grow that land. But in the long run, it really helps out, because in the long run we get less agitation and we get to move through life with much more clarity. So that's my little metaphor for today. I don't know how well it came through on the video here. Probably just looks a bit white. But trust me, this is not what it usually looks like. Regardless, you've had a nice little drive through mainland Abu Dhabi, so at least that's been enjoyable for you perhaps. So that's me signing out for today. I hope that was of some kind of value. Yeah, just remember to cultivate those hard to reach patches. Make sure you look after them. The ones that hurt, the ones that are often the hardest to figure out, the ones we don't want to touch are always the ones that we need to cultivate. They're the ones we need to look after the most. So if you are cloudy, if you are hurting, if you're in that pain mode, if you're cloudy, hazy, can't see, chaos, find the point, find the barren land, plant some nice trees on there, tie it down, get some roots in there, be conscious about it, and you move through you won't have to deal with that part of your land, that part of your mind again. It'll be nicely tied down, nicely cultivated, and you'll avoid the agitation in the future. And that's me for today. I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.